facts wrong, Mr. Gantry. Your company is supposed to get 1,500 gallons. Destination someplace called Belle Isle in Louisiana. Signed for by an officer of your company and due the 23rd.
I believe the word you're searching for is wrong.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, wrong. You are not right.
Like,
you are
why is there a W
incorrect.
in front of wrong, Gabe?
So we're right and you're wrong.
Let me see that. Takes a big man to admit when he's wrong. I am not a big man.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chair is stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth.
So Chewy gets on the call this morning, and the first thing I hear him say is, a lot of fishing happening today. I assume, Chewy, that you're talking about the, like, reel and line and hook fishing.
Snapper season opened up down here, and a lot of people love snapper, myself included.
I love snapper. I had excellent snapper. Are you a snapper fan?
Gabe?
I don't think I've ever had snapper.
You're like Beloit?
Gabe, going bowling today, Gabe?
What's that?
Going bowling today?
Oh, thank you. This is a nice shirt. Thank you.
Is that how you read that?
Yeah, he's complimenting my shirt.
Are you going golfing today?
I am going golfing today, yes.
That looks like what Shefty's dog did to him yesterday.
Wow. I had a number of people approach me yesterday, BTW, about the Schefter dog story. And if you missed it, you can find it on anywhere you get your Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast, but including the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app. So Chewy says, a lot of fishing going on. And I said, well, speaking of fishing, they got me. Yesterday during the show, they got me. Have you guys seen this Wisconsin DOT fishing scam? Chewy, you familiar with this?
Yeah, Jen, that was like a layup. That wasn't even a free throw. That was like a lay. I didn't even need to read the whole thing, and I deleted it. As soon as it said Wisconsin DOT, you owe money, slide to the left, delete.
Chewy, she started telling me about it during the show, and I go, oh, that's fishing. She goes, no, it's legit.
It's
legit.
So yes, I was very adamant that this was actually the case.
I guess we'll find out together.
So it happened late in the show yesterday. It was like about 20 minutes to the end of the hour, 20 minutes to the end of the show, and I get this text message that says, "This is the Wisconsin DOT. You owe us money. We're going to," and there was like a long list of consequences if I didn't pay whatever I owed. Now, I'm pretty good about paying my debts. Paying what I owe. But every once in a while, something will slip through the cracks, and I'll be like, oh, I didn't know that. And I drive to Illinois a lot to go to O'Hare. So when it said that I owed for a toll, I thought, oh, they're nailing me for one of the tolls that I missed paying for on my way to O'Hare. To which Gabe said,
why would the state of Wisconsin give a rip if you owed tolls in the state of Illinois?
Excellent point by him. And I wish that I had given it more thought when he said it the first time. Instead, I'm like, I'm going to take care of this right away, get this off my plate, move on to the next thing. And so sure enough, pull out my credit card, boop, 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 and immediately regretted that decision. Immediately had this sense of dread wash over me, like, oh no. Because the toll amount, Chewy, when it finally came to like total, was like $6.96. And there was something about that amount where I was like, no. Like when they come and collect for tolls I've missed on the way down to Chicago, it's like $30, $45.
Well, then they start adding on like late fees. They start
interest, all of that stuff. And so there was something about the $6.90, did I say 6 cents? I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
That was like red flag. Not my friend Gabe over here telling me point blank, clear as day, oh, that's a scam.
Oh, I got this thing from the Wisconsin deal. Oh, that's fishing. Like, she didn't even finish the
So-
sentence because I don't know how many times. Like, it's a reflex at this point. The number of texts that I have gotten like that. Like, oh, okay, delete report junk, delete report junk, delete report junk. It's just, again, it's just a reflex. I don't know how to do that normally, but now I don't even have to think about it whenever I get one of those texts.
And tell them what happened to you in the afternoon.
Oh, I got the exact same text. One whatever
got
in
the
the
same
afternoon.
one, too,
I was
yeah.
out walking Bubba. All of a sudden,
So
feel the
was
little
that from
buzz.
was that from our IT department, or was that just a?
No, that's
anybody
somebody.
gets
That's
it?
somebody trying to get into Jen's
Bank account.
bank account. That's
Okay.
a real phishing
Yeah.
attempt. That's a
Yeah.
real scammer going after Jen. Not like you, where you were only scammed by us in order to do more training that you don't want to do.
Right, to
Let me
prove
just
that
say
you could be
something
scammed.
About where's the place you get your license?
The
DMV?
The DMV. Those people had a bad rap. Let me tell you what. The people at the DMV are so nice now.
Now,
Incredible. And
what
so
is-
well, I think that there was a stigma back in the day that they were mean and this and that and this, but now I think they are super sweet. And I'll tell you what, I hiccuped for a minute because I don't have my registration for one of the cars down here. And Angie called the DMV, and they were like, oh, they were so nice. They're like, oh, we'll send that right out to you. Where back in the day, it just seemed like there'd be a fight. So I just want to say the stigma is gone. People at the DMV, thank you for what you do.
for whatever it's worth.
Hey, wait, did that just turn into a thank you for your service PSA for the DMV?
Right, but it's whatever you do.
Stuff.
I tend to agree with you, though. The last few times I've gone to the DMV, now it mostly has been for Chase to get his driver's permit, get his license, or at least try several times. They were wonderful. They were very nice. They were very, efficient. There's been a stigma, a reputation that maybe the DMV moves a little slowly. I felt like they didn't waste my time. So maybe they are turning over a new leaf.
Was that ever accurate? Now, I've gone to the DMV not all that often. Don't need to be there a whole lot. I don't really understand the people who constantly are having issues there. But since I've had to go when I was 15, 16 getting a license, it's pretty much in and out. You spend 30 minutes there, you wait in line for 5, 10, you do what you need to, and you're out the door.
Yeah, but Josh,
was it like something that happened in media where they got a bad rap because in TV shows or movies it was viewed as some hellacious thing? I've never experienced a poor time there. It's
but that's
business.
That's a place where I don't mind spending an hour
You want to know why?
because the
I know
people
why.
are so interesting.
People watching. Yep.
People watching at the DMV is the best. The best. Yeah.
Better than the airport? Because the airport is where you usually do. Granted, you spend a lot more time in the airport, obviously, than the DMV. But the airport seems to be your go-to for people watching.
Airport is solid. That should
right.
be a top 10 places to people watch.
Chewy, power rank these in terms of their people watching experience. State Fair, DMV, airports.
Summerfest. You could throw Summerfest in there. State Fair is better than Summerfest.
State Fair is one with a
outfits-
bullet.
The outfits at State Fair are just priceless. They are the best. You know what? And I told you guys I'm going to Germany, so I'm going to
Oktoberfest?
Oktoberfest in Munich. And Angie's having lederhosen made. Seriously thinking of driving that out at State Fair.
Trying it out? Like a test
Yes.
run? Like a dress
Yeah.
rehearsal?
Can I
Yes.
just
I
make
like it.
Can I make a single request? Can
What?
Angie please,
Yeah, photos.
please take pictures and send them to us?
Oh, you know she will.
Because you're I think you're too big for lederhosen, pal.
No, I'm having a maid. Because the one thing I've heard about going to Oktoberfest in Germany, if you buy a cheese ball Amazon type outfit, they heckle you.
So it has to be authentic, you're saying?
It's got to be authentic. So I'm thinking of driving that thing down to State Fair.
Just take it for a test run. See how it goes.
Can we please follow you with a camera for social content?
Yeah, but I don't really want to show my face. That's the problem.
It's going to be tough.
Your face is on camera for 2 hours every day.
Yeah, but he's saying in lederhosen.
Oh.
He's shared the picture with us, but he doesn't want it out there publicly.
Well, what if you go? So German Fest this year is the end of July. What if you go
Yeah,
to
but
Germanfest in the lederhosen?
But I think that's weak.
What do you mean?
I think that's weak because you'll be insulated by other people wearing lederhosen. You got to test drive that thing on an open track.
You're talking out of both sides of your mouth here, pal.
little
On
bit.
one
About
hand,
a
there
half
it
a
is.
cup.
Yeah, there it is. On one hand, you're like, I don't want anyone to see my face, but I will not go to a place where other people are wearing lederhosen because I want to stand out. You know what I'm saying?
Back to your list, Gabe. State Fair's 1.
State Fair's 1.
State Fair's 1. DMV 2. Summerfest 3. Airport 4.
Did not expect the airport to come in at 4.
Pal,
Yes.
the outfits are so predictable these days at the airport.
Well, again, Chewy
Yeah.
can recognize you and spot you, tell you where you're from just by the outfit.
I will tell you this.
course.
It's so rare now to see women in particular traveling in business attire.
Yes.
We've all got the leisure, athleisure
Yeah.
down, and then you do the quick change at the airport or wherever it is to get into your business attire so that you don't wrinkle your clothes sitting on the plane. And yeah, I think you know this. I saw Luke that one time on the plane, Luke from X-Golf.
Oh, yeah.
And I had taken my hoodie and done the Cartman.
Cinched it.
I saw the picture.
Yeah, cinched it so I
We
could
all did.
sleep. We all did.
Can we circle back to you getting scammed?
Sure.
So
Does that bring you joy?
I did a little
Yes.
research
I mean, it
on
should.
this. This scam dates back to like 2022.
No.
Yeah. So I was surprised this was your first time you had encountered it.
Yeah.
I think I've deleted and reported as spam no less than 4 or 5 of these.
Really? That's my first time seeing it.
Yeah.
And look, and we've talked about this before because the other time that I got busted when our company does those fishing expeditions that Chewy said he got nailed on as well, I was walking through the airport. I get the thing. I'm trying, and like, you're not really thinking it through, right? Like, I was sitting here. I got it. The show's going on. I'm like, if I don't do this now, I'll forget about it. And then, it'll snowball. And so I was like, I'm just going to take care of it right this moment. And then I did. And Gabe was like, you're an idiot. And I was like, I know. And then I
Well,
called
at first you're like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, well, that's my default setting, Gabe.
What
You're wrong.
What
I'm
has
right.
the
All right, so
reaction been?
Jen, there's another one out there, and it's from the cop shop when it comes to parking tickets. Just let that one go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, parking tickets.
Well, I mean, again, if you wanted to get Jen, I think you have to specify to more of the speeding ticket. Like, I don't think she's ever had a problem parking.
Here's an important thing for us to.
The look on your face tells me otherwise, possibly.
Here's an important thing to. Have you given the DMV your cell phone number, and have they ever reached out to you via text message before?
No. Well, and again, it's the Wisconsin DOT. So to be honest, yes. When my registration is close to expiring, the DMV has reached out and said, don't forget your registration is expiring. But there's no like put your credit card information in here, right? Like, I will say this, though, guys, and this is the one thing that I will say in my defense. That website was an identical match for the Wisconsin DOT, save the link that stole my credit card information.
I do want to nominate Jen, though, if anybody from IT is listening, for more before training.
Oh, well,
because
now.
these things had all the telltale signs.
Oh, yeah.
The number that it came from was
Plus
like plus
63.
65. Yeah. Was
Yeah,
like, okay, well, that's not like a real number. Okay, so we start there. Like, it has the sense of urgency, pay now or go to jail, basically, is what the message had said.
It's
like,
the
all the
DMV.
things that we have done every month for literally 2 or 3 years
Yeah.
now, just hitting Jen across the face.
He's 100% correct.
That's a
You go back
plus.
and look at it and be like, well, that was a red flag. That was a red flag. That was a red flag. Did they spell Jennifer with a G? What the hell?
It was the DMV from Belgium.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. As soon as the show ended, I called Chase Bank. I immediately had the credit card canceled. So no harm, no foul. That transaction didn't even get into my account. So that's another thing, how I knew, again, when you do those things on the DMV website, bloop, they show up right away in your bank account. Money's taken out. That hadn't shown up. So I reported it as, I reported myself as an idiot to my bank. And they are sending me a new card.
Did they give you you're one of tens of thousands? The only way I can describe this is I'm disappointed in you.
Really?
You're too smart for this to get you.
What do you guys think the hit? What do you think the hit rate is on that though? 2%?
Yeah, it's low. It's got to be
But
low.
again,
Really?
And it probably escalates as you age up, as you get less and less tech savvy, which Jen, you're fairly tech savvy. You're doing a lot of stuff on your phone, computer. This is like, if my grandpa got by this, I'd be like, okay, yeah, he's not the best at his phone. He got confused. Jen, you're on your phone as much as I am.
You know what this is, though? You know what it is? This is payback for all the time we forged our parents' name, like, to get out of school early.
Karma? This is a karma thing?
Yeah, this is karma coming back to get us.
I definitely practiced my mom's signature. My mom had the prettiest, most elegant signature, but it was very forgeable. Like, I'm still doing it right now.
I was about to say, it seems like the muscle memory's kicking in pretty quickly over there.
So all's well that ends well, but I don't mind being another PSA for everyone else out there. Please keep an eye open for these scams that the I don't know, the Belgians, did we even look up plus 63 country code that is?
The thing with a lot of those numbers is they're online numbers, so they just kind of pick at random all these different numbers, and you're supposed to, if you're getting random text messages similar to these where it's a person being like, hey, how are you, or just like randomly reaching out, you're also supposed to delete and report to spam, because what they're doing is they're sending thousands and thousands of text messages, and the phone companies won't recognize them, so they'll throttle them. But if you respond, you click their links, you do that, then it makes it worse and worse, and it proliferates.
Well, and again, I want to be clear. I did not click the link in the text. I copied and pasted the whole thing, dropped it into a Word doc, and then took the link and dropped it into the browser line. So at least I'm telling you,
that's doing for you.
No, that's. I don't know what you think that accomplished.
I thought
because it's the same link. It's the same thing. You just
You know
put
what,
it
though?
in different spots.
so bad.
Hold on. This is really a question about what you think about Gabe. I mean, it really.
Coming up, Brett.
Said,
It's really coming up
Do
next
it.
here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Chewy, shut up.
Sounds like a Horicon thing.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, a little bit of action out there on the roads. We got westbound 94 right about at St. Paul Avenue. Left lane's blocked with a broken down vehicle. Then we've also got an issue on westbound 94 at Moreland Road. Right shoulder's blocked with a broken down car. We've got northbound on Highway 100 right at North Avenue. The left lane blocked with a crash. And back to 94, right about at St. Paul Avenue. Basically, we've got a crash there as well, right at on the left lane. So that's going to be affecting your ride heading through that area. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, smoke and haze. Mostly sunny with a high of 70 at the lake, 75 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Summerfest brings the biggest names in live music to Milwaukee's lakefront across 3 unforgettable weekends, including performances from Hozier, Megan Thee Stallion, Benson Boone, plus Alex Warren, Allie and AJ, Betty Who, Artemis, Nessa Barrett, and more. Don't miss Milwaukee's Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance on June 19th through the 21st, June 26th through the 28th, and July 3rd through the 5th. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care recently switched to James Imaging Systems for their document imaging technology. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
Well, I think that boils back down to the service. We have a good partnership with James Imaging.
With James, you get more than a vendor relationship. You get a local business technology partner.
Oh, absolutely. I can pick up the phone at any time, contact our representative, and he's right on it.
James Imaging Systems, business technology, and local support for more productivity, more value.
Definitely. We're a nonprofit here. We have to watch every penny, so we really feel very comfortable in that area with James Imaging.
Comfortable enough to recommend James Imaging Systems to others?
Well, without hesitation, I would recommend James Imaging. They won't be disappointed.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
At
Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless. Another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
The Carbless Talk and Text line, 800-990-3776, is a medley of reaction to me getting fished by the fake Wisconsin DOT. Fished? No. Hooked. Scammed.
Bamboozled. Hoodwinked.
All of those things. Please let Jen know I received a message from the Mequon police that they needed me to pay a parking ticket for her so she could just send me her credit card information going forward. That from Jason in the 801.
Good on Jason's just a good guy.
Not our Jason, Jason Wilde, who joins us now. And Jason, I'm embarrassed to admit, I did get scammed yesterday by that fishing expedition. Have you seen these text messages going around?
Well, first of all, as a Nigerian prince, I don't get those text messages.
You just send them.
Well, he doesn't send it. He has people because he's the prince. He's already got the money. He's got people who sends it out.
Exactly. I'm like Eddie Murphy in Coming to America. No, I have gotten them, yes. Look, I'm not going to judge you. Am I surprised that a person of your intellect fell for the banana tailpipe? I am. But hey, we all make those types of mistakes from time to time. And I'll tell you this, we do as a company, we do all these videos and quizzes and everything in an effort to prevent this kind of thing happening from a company standpoint. And I know that the State Journal, when they had all the problems they had, it was because of a ransomware attack where clearly somebody had made the mistake of clicking on something they shouldn't. So this is, I don't think you should feel bad at all. Like Romeo Dobbs, learn your lesson and then just put your head down and get back to work.
Jason, I know it's mini camp, no pads, but how has Jacob Monk looked at center? Does he look the part?
I'll be honest. It would be great if Frankie Bag of Donuts would come up and stand next to me at practice so I could give you a better assessment of that. Like, he reminds me from a stature standpoint of Scott Wells, who was like, and I mean this in the nicest possible way because I'm built this way too, except not nearly as muscular as Matt LaFleur is happy to point out in press conferences. Short and squatty, right? Like he doesn't look like Josh Myers. He doesn't look like Mike Flanagan. Even Frankie was obviously taller in addition to being stockier. So, I don't know, without pads and without doing one-on-ones and all those other things, I don't have a good feel for what he might be capable of if for some reason it went all the way to the point of him having to start games for them this season. But I just keep thinking about the fact that, they lost after 4 snaps. They lost Elton Jenkins. Then later in the game, they lose Josh Myers. toward the end of the game. They tried two different guys at guard in relief of Elton Jenkins, and both of them were terrible. And yet Jacob Monk, who was active for the game, never played an offensive snap. Like, they never decided to say, hey, let's go to the rookie instead. I mean, even when Myers went out, then they moved Sean Ryan over to center, and then they brought one of the other, I think it was Glover, who came back in then. So, I'm curious where he will stand once we get to training camp, but he can't help but be better off for getting this work while Elton stays away.
Jason, it seemed like everybody was just revealing their injuries this week at OTAs. We find out that Kenny Clark had foot surgery, LVN dealing with a hand issue throughout the season last year. I don't know where I'm supposed to land on this because, yes, Kenny Clark landed on, he was on the injury report a couple of times with the toe injury, and obviously his production was down, and I'm sure the injury factored into that. But if you're on the field, I'm supposed to have a certain level of expectation for you. And if this injury is still allowing you to practice, how much should I read into potential bounce backs, or for Lucas Van Ness, even some sort of step forward because of the injuries that they had last year?
Yeah, it's an outstanding question. And every time as I stood there, and look, Lucas Van Ness had actually told us about the thumb thing when he talked before the bus left in April for the tailgate tour. And I knew he had left the game dealing with the thumb and came back. I knew that he was playing with like a small cast throughout the first half of the season on that hand. So I knew the injury was there, but both as he talked and as Kenny talked, I heard Chewy's voice. And not like a Noah, you must build an ark type God voice, but like what Chewy said about Zach Tom the other day, right? Like it's just, and look, I'm not dragging Jordan Love on this at all because I do believe his injuries affected his performance. I would never ever dismiss that. To what degree, I don't know, but it is interesting that these guys, we didn't even know that they had issues. Like, we knew Kenny Clark had a toe injury, but I talked to Kenny Clark every week last season, and not once did he say anything about how it was impacting him. And Lucas Van Ness, it wasn't until the off season, and maybe this is an oversight by me, but I didn't realize that he was exclusively rushing from the right side. I didn't even realize that. And a thumb injury certainly would be a factor with how effectively you can use your hands. So, again, if those guys are healthy and play at a meaningfully higher level because they are healthy compared to what they provided last season, that should give, all those guys we're talking about, Rashawn Gary specifically, we're talking about how they're all hanging out during OTAs at Kenny's house and watching NBA basketball and watching film and ordering in wings and pizza. And sounds like a lot of fun. But that's great, and camaraderie is great. I think it's extremely important. Spending that extra time together and going through practice video and everything else together, I love it. But what's really going to make a difference is if these injuries were problematic enough to cause those guys to, Kenny Clark had his worst season since he was a rookie.
But that's where I'm at, Jason, is, okay, so where's that line? Because, okay, you guys played through those injuries. Oh, but you played through injuries, so we're supposed to give you a pass, but you have Jaire Alexander. Yeah. Okay, so you guys didn't play good enough, and maybe somebody else could have done better if you weren't in there, but you decided to try to play through it. And on the other side of this, and I think it's the extreme other side, but you have Jaire Alexander, who's been vilified for saying, hey, I'm not 100%. I don't want to be out there unless I can be effective. And he's been turned into a villain for that. But if he's out there and he's ineffective, I'm just trying to figure out where this line exists. And I'm sure players are too, of, okay, how effective is it that I'm out here and can someone else do better?
There is no line, Gabe.
Okay.
There is no line.
But
like I said,
you know
Jason, and you know this, Jason, there's a difference between hurt and injured. Injured, you can't play. Hurt, everybody plays.
But then I'm supposed to still hold you to a level of expectation of your level of play, correct?
Sure.
Okay. So it's not. I'm glad that Kenny Clark got this cleaned up. I'm glad that Lucas Van Ness is healthier. But I don't know if that changes my outlook on how good this defensive line can be in 2025.
Well, first of all, I'm just trying to recover from you using vilified and villain in the same sentence. Secondly, look, you guys are both 1,000% right. Like, I couldn't agree with you more. And bringing the Jaire piece into it is even more interesting because you're right. You know, maybe he was vilified for not playing through injury, and now here we sit with two guys who played through injury. And basically, and I'm not saying they were doing this on purpose, but suddenly now we have either an excuse or an explanation for how they performed, right? And even if you're not giving them a pass per se, you are looking at their season through a different lens. So you couldn't be more right, and it does feel double standardy. It does, and so I've always been taught that if you're on the field, whether you're playing through an injury or playing hurt or not, you're going to be judged on how you perform. But it does feel as if when not us talking about players, them talking about players, there is a sliding scale on how much grace you receive because you played through injury.
Good stuff, guys, and I think we'll continue that conversation a little bit later in the show. I want to know what your thoughts were on Keyshawn talking about a couple of things. One, sort of changing his tune on being a returner for the Green Bay Packers. And two, based on what he said, does it sound like he thinks Jaire will be back in the green and gold this fall?
Well, first of all, I would argue that he didn't change his tune. He had his tune changed.
Oh, that's an excellent nuance. That is excellent nuance, Jason.
It was clear that neither LaFleur nor Bisaccia particularly appreciated his proclamation. I do declare I am done playing return man to us at locker cleanout. As far as Jaire, look, if you go back and listen to both Nixon and Xavier McKinney, I'm telling you, they're basically saying, look, we love him. We love playing with him. We want him back for us, but we have no idea if he's going to be back. And they both made comments about, along the lines of he has to do what's right for him, which to me, when players say that, they might as well have been saying, the Packers want him to take a much larger pay cut than he's willing to take. And so this offer that's on the table, he doesn't like it. And unless something changes, I don't know if he will be my teammate again or not. That was how I interpreted both of their comments. Because, look, they authentically really like Jaire. Like, those are two of his best friends on the team. And again, I know that there have been those in the Packers fan base who think the beat writers are trying to run Jaire out of town. I mean, I'll tell you this, like, none of us feel that way. And the story has taken the twists and turns that it has. But let's not lose sight of the fact that two guys who really like Jaire, Keyshawn Nixon, who proclaimed himself CB1 in that same conversation at his locker, you don't do that if you think the two-time second-team All-Pro is coming back for another season with you, right? And then when Josh Jacobs is doing his number one wide receiver tour at the Super Bowl, he also said we need another starting defensive back. He wasn't talking about safety. So he was presuming that, Jaire was going to be gone. So I don't think those guys, while maybe the fan base with the reporting of late had gotten their hopes up about him returning, and maybe he still does, I'm not sure either one of those guys sounded like they were actually getting their hopes up that this was going to happen. I think they were thinking, well, it'd be great if it did, but based on my conversations with Jaire, I don't know. I think that's the vibe I got from both of them.
Jason, I want you to power rank these 4 places when it comes to people watching. State Fair, Summerfest, DMV, or the airport. 1 through 4.
Oh my gosh. Well, like that's come on. That's like asking me to rate Jordan, LeBron, Bill Russell, and Kobe or something. Like they're all like they are in the not just the Hall of Fame, but they are like first ballot people watching Hall of Fame locations, right? Like
I mean, Mount
is there
Rushmore,
anything
some
else
might
in the
say,
list?
Jason, right? This is a Mount
Some
Rushmore.
might say, yeah, very good. Is there anything that's even like if those are the 4, what's 5th? Because they're all
There's a gap.
outstanding places. There's a huge gap.
Yeah. All right, 1, Jason. I win State Fair. I don't think there's anything better than State Fair.
I would agree. Circle gets the square.
2.
I would take Summerfest second. Although my Summerfest trips have been of late, me going to do the State of the Packers with Strofe and Gabe, Paul and the girls walking around for those hours, and then we leave right away. So I've not done my fair share of people watching. I do enjoy the folks that when you are clearly talking on the air, they start a conversation with you, and a lot of times it's, do you know where Ecuador Manta is playing?
It's a deep cut.
So that
Jason.
I'm a big fan of that. So and then I would say the airport over the DMV. I don't know about you. When I have to go to the when I go to the DMV, I'm watching the numbers and I'm looking at my phone. Like I'm not actually engaging in the people watching as much as maybe in the other 3 locations, because the airport is, I mean, let's not underrate the airport. Like not only that, but it's like there are actual conveyor belts taking people past you so you can watch them. Like it's the convenience level. Like it's like they're being delivered like George Jetson at Spacely Sprockets for you to judge them. It's amazing.
We have folks weighing in on the Carbless Talk and text line this morning. 800-990-3776. That's how you can get in with the show always. Josh in Heartland and Michael in the 262 both suggesting Walmart for number 5 on your list of people watching places. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's probably, I mean, they do have that account, right? The people of Walmart or whatever it is. I'm more of a get in, get what I need, and get out guy when it comes to that place. I will actively engage in people watching in the airport, at Summerfest, and State Fair, though.
Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Good stuff as always. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, I'll send you that link.
Yeah, but it's going to come from your address. See,
that's the way it's genius, because you're going to trust that Jason's not going to lead you astray.
Jason's like, how can I get her bank account information? Actually, I'd probably just give it to Jason. Not Gabe, though. Not Gabe.
Yeah,
we determined I don't trust Gabe as far as I can throw him. All right, more Jen, Gabe, and Chewy right after this. Stick around.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, you hear Chewy and I talking about it all the time. It is the Jewelry Center. Of course, it's the only place to go. Not just because they have a great selection, and if no matter what kind of diamond you're looking for, lab-grown diamond, naturally mined diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. But the thing that separates the Jewelry Center to me is the helpful team that they've put together. They helped me over 3 years ago at this point when I got the engagement ring for my wife. But they can help you as well. Maybe you have an idea. If you don't have an idea, check out the Pinterest page. Bring that in, and that helpful team always going to point you in the right direction. Check out the inventory. Any one of their 3 locations, Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. Shop online at shoptjc.com. And when you go to the Jewelry Center, make sure you tell them that Gabe and Chew sent you.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got a few things going on. Westbound 94 right about at St. Paul Avenue. Looks like we've got an accident that is blocking the left lane. That's backing things up into the Marquette. Beyond that, in Waukesha County, from just inside the county line all the way past Moreland, is going to be some slow speeds. We've got a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder, making for a distraction. Northbound Highway 100 at North Avenue. We got the left lane blocked with a crash there as well. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Smoke, haze. It's mostly sunny. Otherwise, a high of 70 at the lake, 75 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 55. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guarantee. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Truck drivers, the job you have today might not be the one you want tomorrow, and that's okay. At Schneider, our transfer team is here to help you if you decide the job you picked isn't the right fit, or if you come across life changes that require a different schedule or home time. Last year, nearly 2,000 Schneider drivers transferred to different opportunities at the company that better met their lifestyle. Find the driving job that fits yours and your family's needs. Apply now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp recently surveyed more than 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. BetterHelp has more than 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We are all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout for 10% off your first month of therapy today. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How much will Angie let you grow a beard?
I would say for 3 months I have to keep a beard if I lose.
Okay, and Angie would allow you to have a beard for 3 months.
She doesn't run my life. Drop that.
Yeah, how do you?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and I want to get into the conversation that Gabe initiated when we were talking with Jason Wilde. If you missed any of that conversation, you can always find it on the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. That's where we put all of our shows and all of our podcasts and all of our Jason Wilde content. But Gabe, you were asserting that the Packers find themselves in a bit of a pickle here when it comes to this injury situation. We learned earlier this week that there were several players who were playing hurt, dealing with, you could argue that, push it a little direction here or there. Maybe they shouldn't have played, wouldn't have played, but they chose to play not at 100%. And on the other hand, you have Jaire Alexander, who has, as you said, been vilified for not playing at 100%. So it sounds to me like you're trying to figure out, on behalf of the players, if you will, what the sweet spot is for when you're supposed to put yourself out there on the field and be a good soldier for the team, and when you're supposed to say, no, actually, there's somebody who could perform better than me because I'm not 100%.
Well, it really comes down to Kenny Clark for me, because Lucas Van Ness just might be bad. I don't know. There's not enough. He's been around for 2 years, hasn't done anything. But Kenny Clark, we know, can be a really good player. And he had his worst season statistically last year since he was a rookie. And trying to figure, okay, is it because he's getting older, because he switched to the 4-3, and now this injury thing comes out where he had foot surgery, right? He has foot surgery. So, okay, were you ineffective because of that? You were so ineffective that you had the worst year since you were a rookie. Could somebody have done better? Like, is that part of the struggles because you were that injured? And that's what I'm just trying to figure out is, okay, could somebody have done better? Is that you putting yourself out there? Is that good for the team? Is that bad for the team? Because, again, if Jaire Alexander, if he goes out there and he gets cooked, right, just gives up touchdown after touchdown because he's trying to play through a knee injury, what's he doing out there? But then he doesn't play, and it's like, why isn't he out there? So I'm just trying to figure out, and Chewy, you said that doesn't seem like there is there's no right or wrong answer here.
Coaches don't look at a line. And with Kenny Clark, it's age and injury, but Goody broke his own rule, right? By giving him a third contract.
Yeah.
And I think now
that surprised us, Chew. That surprised us when it happened.
Yeah.
We did not see it coming.
Well, to be fair, he isn't 30 yet. He's 29.
No. Yeah, but the contract took him past 30.
Yeah.
Because
he'll be 30 in October.
Yeah, he'll turn 30 this year.
This is the risk you run when it comes to guys in their 30s. The older you get, the more you get injured, and the longer injuries take to get over. That's just the way it goes. Father Time always wins.
Is that on the coaching staff then, Chew, to recognize, hey, this injury's hampering you, we need to try somebody else here?
I'd say the benchmark is probably 90. It should be 90. Yeah, coaches expect you to play hurt.
Yeah.
The farther you get into the season, they expect you to play hurt. And I played hurt a number of times. And Andy Reid, when he was my coach, he never said, oh, you missed that block because your knee hurts. It's okay. No. He grades you out the exact same if you got a mild sprain of the MCL or you're completely healthy. They don't care. You're on the field. You're expected to do what they expect you to do, and if you don't, then you're going to get graded accordingly. They don't factor in injuries to like, oh, let's grade this on a curve because he's hurt. They don't do that.
Well, let me ask you this, guys. Is there something about the transparency that makes it easier to swallow for a fan base? I think about guys who have played at times with clubs on their hand at the linebacker position, right? And you sit there and go, well, whoa, what a warrior. Look at him out there. He's got a broken hand or a broken thumb or whatever it is, but he's still out there playing the position because they think that he can still get it done even with that club.
You get frustrated when he drops an interception because, well, I mean, are you supposed to catch like that?
Is it hypothetical still, or are we talking specifics here? Yeah, exactly. But the point is that it's very clear and obvious to the viewer, to the fan, that this guy is going out there trying to do something for his team, and he's not 100%. With Kenny Clark, other than, like you said, maybe showing up on the injury report a few times with the toe injury, and we know he was dealing with turf toe. Yes, turf toe. I always want to say toe turf, which I know is wrong. We didn't know that this was ailing him since week 1 of last season. And so, as you mentioned, you watch the numbers as the season goes on and the stats, and they're not moving in the direction you want them to be moving, and there's a frustration that goes along with that. If he had told us at the beginning of the season, after the week 1 loss to the Eagles, hey, my foot, I got it bad, and I'm going to still go out there, but man, it is really hindering my work, the process, the product on the field. Would we have handled it differently? Would we have felt differently then?
I think we would have been asking if he should have been playing because that's how poorly he played. I mean, again, that's how bad Kenny Clark was last year.
But that's on the coach.
Exactly. That was my question.
That's on the coach to recognize it because I'll tell you what, Sterling had real bad turf toe. right? And it was a point of contention because he wouldn't practice at all. And he had surgery after one of the years. But you know what Sterling did? Still went out and caught 110 balls. I was about to say, he
went out and set NFL records for receptions in a single season.
Still played. So injuries aren't an excuse. And you know, some players, I just wanted to play. And I was probably stupid about playing sometimes when Jeff Thomason probably could have been more effective. But I always looked at, I don't know if you guys know this, but players have egos.
What?
Right? Yeah, they have egos, and you always think that you're better than the guy behind you by X amount. And that's where the coach needs to step in and say, are you sure you're good to go? You know, and they help you, coax you along. Maybe you need a week, maybe you need or two to get healthy. But like you said, Gabe, this thing was really never a big deal on the injury report.
Yeah, because again, it was the toe. It was and that's not what he got surgery for. He got surgery for his foot,
like a bunion or something. Is that what I was reading?
Yeah,
bunions. I played
spurs.
My last 3 years, and I still have. You guys seen the quado that's trying to come out of my foot?
Yeah, I mean,
have
I seen it? Yeah. Do I try to pretend that I haven't? Yeah. So thanks, Holmgren, for the visual.
I'll show you when we get back.
I swear to God, I thought he was going to put his foot up on the stream.
I'll do that right now.
I thought he
Look at this thing.
Oh, my God. Here he goes. Here it comes.
No.
Here it comes. No, you can't. You're not even oh, there it is.
See
There's
that thing?
Chewy's foot.
It's like the mirror, though. It's opposite on this. How do I get it in there? Okay, that knob right there. I played with that. That's a bunion. Suck it up, Kenny, you wuss boy.
God bless anyone who is not watching on the YouTube stream right now, because you just got, the thigh meat was spectacular, by the way.
Jen, these things reek. Woo! The smell.
Yeah, wear a clean pair of socks every once in a while, huh?
It's the last day with him, Gabe. This is it. Okay?
Yeah.
Can we just...
Anyway, Kenny Clark ranked 53rd PFF last year out of 118. Devontae Wyatt was 37th. Carl Brooks was 45th. So, again, 53rd, middle of the pack.
But again, just like we talked about with Jordan,
exactly.
That's where I was going. Good job.
Exactly.
All right. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I'm not sure we're going to be able to reach the heights we just did with Chewy sticking his fat foot up into the YouTube stream, but we will certainly try when we return.
It is time. If you're looking to upgrade your windows or doors, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin has you covered. We've talked about them for years here on ESPN Wisconsin. And Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget. That's why I know if it's time to upgrade those windows or doors, it can be intimidating because you don't want to spend a fortune. But Pella has a product line for every budget, so many different customization options as well. And right now, no interest. You can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. No interest, no payments for up to 2 years with Pella Windows and Doors Wisconsin. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? Get it now and wait. Start making payments up to 2 years later. Certain restrictions do apply, and 6/30/2025. So set that free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing...
I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
Made by me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
I'm Monica Kessler.
Monica makes sure that everything at Kessler's is worthy of a lifetime warranty.
The quality of your ring is incredibly important when it comes to diamond setting, ring sizing, and repairs.
Monica has been part of Kessler's since she was 6 years old.
Let me tell you how to judge the quality of the jewelry you're buying.
It's easier than you think.
All you have to do is read the warranty.
Most stores offer a 5-year warranty, but Kessler's offers a lifetime warranty, the strongest in the world.
We can do it because we put more gold in your jewelry.
When a jeweler wants to make a bigger profit, they put less gold into the jewelry. This makes it thinner and easier to break.
Theirs might look like ours at first glance, but Kessler's jewelry is made not to break, and that takes more gold.
We give you a lifetime warranty because our jewelry is made to last forever, just like your love.
Gold is more than $2,000 an ounce.
Kessler's gives you more gold, a lot more gold.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
It's time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
For over 50 years, Cousin Subs has celebrated and embraced the traditions of their home state of Wisconsin. And now, Cousins will be honoring a Wisconsin tradition like no other with their Pull Tab giveaway promo. Now through July 6th, while supplies last, guests will receive a Cousins Pull Tab with a sub or sub-able purchase for a chance to win Cousin Subs for a year and much more. For additional info and official rules, visit cousinsubs.com/pulltabs. One pull tab per customer per transaction per day. To receive a pull tab with no purchase necessary, see official rules.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And then you have Raj, who I didn't think he just didn't have the body type of a right tackle.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Who the hell are you talking about?
What's his name? Yash.
Raj? Like, I was thinking, okay,
Who's Raj? You tell us, buddy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Gabe, how's your day going?
Again, whenever you get a text, when you get out of the shower saying, "I hope you're listening," from Evan Cohen, I know something's about to happen. Or something maybe did happen. So, you wake up one day, you're an expert, and suddenly some people have an issue with that.
So Evan Cohen was talking about the NBA Finals with his folks on Unsportsmanlike this morning, Chris Canty and Michelle Smallman, and they were going over the list of experts that ESPN.com has put out with experts predicting the outcome of the NBA Finals. Take a listen to Unsportsmanlike.
You are quite excited today. Are you going to be doing a lot of gambling tonight? I normally don't see you this excited.
Oh, I'm getting involved, Joseph.
Okay,
I'm getting involved. I don't know if you've seen the expert picks.
Multiple pages.
On ESPN.com.
What is your pick?
I'm going with the Pacers in 7, Joseph.
Okay, see, now everything was going so well, and now here we go.
Just
remember the expert thing.
Joseph.
I
have a major issue with the word expert. Gabe Neitzel, an expert on the Thunder and Pacers.
That's a good pop. It's fair.
I mean, but look, I'm not the one who declared myself an expert. ESPN.com was the one that declared me an expert. And who am I to argue with ESPN.com?
It's fair.
I'm not. I didn't declare myself an expert. I didn't call up whoever runs ESPN.com and say, "Hey, throw my name in there as an expert." No, they reached out to me, Chew. They reached out to me.
Just out of curiosity, having not gone over the expert list exhaustively, is Evan Cohen on the expert list?
He is, yes. Yeah. And guess what? We had the exact same prediction. Thunder in 5.
Well, now the plot thickens.
We had the exact same prediction.
So if Evan is considered an expert and he had a prediction and you had the same prediction,
Yep. Correct.
how in the world could he question your credentials for being an expert?
Yeah, this is again, this is the life I live.
Is it because he toys around on the NBA trade machine 24/7? That makes him an expert because he understands aprons.
Yeah, again, like if I've got a question on the second apron, he might be my first phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
but
this guy think he is?
Out of all the sports, though, isn't NBA Evan's expertise? Because he sucks at football.
Yeah. Get him, Chew.
I mean, isn't that fair?
Yes, it is completely fair. 100% fair.
Just out of curiosity, am I the only one noting the irony here of Evan taking out Gabe for his lack of expertise in a certain area, followed by Chewy taking out Evan for his lack of expertise in a certain area?
It's expertise arrogance by Avco, once again.
Put it on the list.
Number 42, expertise arrogance.
Although someone this morning did say that we should put fishing arrogance, PHISHING, after my little...
After you're like, no, this is legit.
Oopsie poopsie yesterday.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is it fair for Evan to criticize or question Gabe's credentials on the NBA after ESPN.com deemed him an expert predicting the outcome of the finals? Okay, don't all answer at once.
Look, I feel like I have to recuse myself as an expert. Like I can't.
No, as Gabe, I feel like I have to recuse myself.
I'm an expert here. Like I'm probably gonna have to change business cards now. ESPN.com NBA expert Gabe Neitzel.
That will. I think that'd be a nice little addition there. Put a little under host and then NBA expert. Little parentheses. I think Gabe has all the makings of an NBA expert, and this is not to take out anyone else. I think he has the credentials of everyone else on the list at very least.
Has the credentials of everyone else on the list. Who else is on the list?
I wouldn't say I have the credentials of everybody else.
It's like
Bobby Marks is on the list.
Like
he worked in the NBA.
I'm saying you have the bare minimum of everyone else on the list.
Yeah.
You make the list. You can question the qualifications of everybody on the list, but the credentials exist.
Are there former players on the list?
Let me get the list up here of everyone they have.
And when he says no, Chewy's just going to throw the list out anyway.
I'm going to be quite frank. I've listened to enough former athletes talk about the sport they played in to know not all of them know exactly what they're talking about.
Oh, there's a lot of dumb.
They know how to play it and play it with the best in the world. No, when it comes to analyzing...
no former NBA players on this list.
Okay.
No former NBA
Joshy,
players.
it's tough when you're playing tight end and you have to tell the fullback and the running back what to do.
Right.
In a matter of, what's the play clock, 30 seconds?
I mean,
that's not always fun.
I mean, you've been doing radio for how long? You're not an expert.
No, I'm an expert on how to be an idiot. Yeah.
Which is why we have you on the radio.
Exactly.
Right. You got your own special expertise.
Yeah.
Chewy knows his lane. He stays in it. Not swerving all over the place.
And it's one way.
Do you want us to put expert with a capital E on that business card, Gabe, or is lowercase fine?
I mean, they did capitalize it on the article. Like,
just don't
it's an honorific.
Just don't put a picture of him with that shirt on the business card.
That's gonna wipe out your credibility for sure. We roll on right after this.
Delays along westbound 94 are going to be starting to slow down from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard, and then back on the brakes from the zoo into Waukesha County. We've got eastbound 94 slowing down from Highway 16 to Highway F, and then you're back on the brakes from about 92nd Street all the way through to about 27th. We do have a crash right at Mitchell Boulevard on eastbound 94. That is off on the right shoulder. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, smoky and hazy, mostly sunny with a high of 70 at the lakefront, 75 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Evan Cohen here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows. Binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5 Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules and to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune into Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
All right, we've got that drop. You know the one. The one about Chewy being right and whatnot. I don't know that he's done anything right now to deserve the drop, but I'm using it as a point of reference because...
That's the stuff I'm supposed to get?
Yes, sir.
Why are they wearing those funny suits?
Well, they're protective, as you know. That's a very corrosive byproduct they're handling.
Oh, yeah. Because if they didn't wear those suits, those boys would be so full of holes, they'd whistle when they walk.
I was... Gabe, help me out here.
Well, it appears that you have your facts wrong, Mr. Gantry. Your company is supposed to get 1,500 gallons. Destination someplace called Belle Isle in Louisiana. Signed for by an officer of your company and due the 23rd.
I believe the word you're searching for is wrong.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, wrong. You are not right.
Like,
you
why
are
is there a
incorrect.
W in front of wrong, Gabe?
So, we're right and you're wrong.
Let me see that. Takes a big man to admit when he's wrong. I am not a big man.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
Matt and Racine weighing in on the Carbless Talk and Text line this morning, wanting to know where the arrogance list will be published for the masses to consume. There might be something there. We might have to get this sucker on the old interwebs.
I mean, it's just so long at this point. We got 42. We got 42 different arrogances on the list. Because we added two. I did add the fishing arrogance to the list.
Which I definitely have had. I'm working on it. I'm in remission from the fishing arrogance. Did you know that Ferris Bueller's actual day off was 40 years ago today?
Wow, that's depressing.
What? That's exactly the reaction I had to. I was like, 40 years ago today?
Wow. That is
that tracks.
Good.
I know, but it makes me feel old.
Time only goes. Chewy said he only goes one direction. Time only goes one direction, folks.
I know.
Yeah.
40 years ago today, Ferris Bueller's actual day off, June 5th, 1985. Lots of stuff for us to get to this morning still. I talked a little bit about this earlier, guys, and I want to get into this on Keyshawn Nixon. Because Keyshawn Nixon, as Jason Wilde reminded us this morning, was very adamant about what he perceived his role to be on this team going forward when the season wrapped up. And now it feels like, and let me phrase this the way that Jason phrased it, his tune has been changed. It wasn't that he had a change. Is that what it was? Changed his tune? His tune has been changed. Okay, good. What was your reaction, Chew, when you heard that Keyshawn Nixon was now open to... Actually, let's hear from Keyshawn Nixon. We have him. Josh is nodding to me behind the glass. Let's hear from Keyshawn Nixon about his tune being changed.
I was kind of frustrated when the season was over, but it's value always, especially when it comes to me being who I am when doing it. So of course I'm open to it. I'm always gonna do what the team need. And then also just me knowing who I am as a person. If the game on the line, I'm gonna want the ball anyway. So that's just probably a comment that I probably could have kept to myself for real, but it is what it is. I said it. I meant what I said, but I'm also a team player, and if the coaches and the team need me to do something, I'm gonna do it for sure.
That's fine, I guess. I mean, they do play the same position. So
who?
Keyshawn, and is he talking about Jaire or his kick returning abilities?
He was talking about kick returning abilities.
Who cares? Put anyone back there. Like it matters.
Really?
I mean, it does. I mean, I
you
think
get the ball at the 30 most times anyway.
What if I told you the ball now comes out to the 35?
Then, let it go in the end zone. If we started, there is such a different mindset from starting on the 20 to starting on the 35. It is such a different mindset.
Which is why kick returning is going to be more important, Chew, because teams are going to try to avoid kicking it into the end zone because they don't want the ball to come all the way out to the 35.
I just don't think it's a big deal. Do you? I mean, punt returns have really become.
Yeah, a lot of it's just fair catch. It's basically fair catch. I mean, punters every once in a while make the mistake and throw a line drive out there, but they've gotten so good at getting the hang time and having the coverage units get down there that punt returning doesn't happen a ton. But
do you think they're still going to try and coffin corner that thing? They didn't. It didn't really make a difference when it came out to the 30. They were still kicking it out of the end zone. Most teams are kicking it out of the end zone if they could.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to change. I really don't. I think they're still going to kick it out of the end zone and be like, all right, it's going to be a game now where you outscore one another.
I will say this was the original thing the XFL did that the NFL modeled but thought they were smarter than and moved it back 5 yards. But in that version in the XFL of the 35, teams were returning many, many, many more kicks.
Okay.
I'm fascinated by this idea, Chew, that you think it doesn't matter who's back there returning kicks. And let's make it specific to Keyshawn Nixon. So when Keyshawn finished the season and he was basically saying, I'm done as a returner, CB1, well, there's been a lot of, not a lot of movement, but there's been a lot of, well, what if Jaire Alexander is back? Well, then he takes over again, reclaims his throne as CB1 likely. Is this just Keyshawn playing nice? Is this just Keyshawn realizing that maybe what he thought was going to happen isn't going to happen, and therefore he needs to be as available in all facets for the team, Gabe?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Part of what he said, I think, came out of frustration because he was ticked off at himself for fumbling the opening kickoff and basically giving the Eagles a touchdown in that playoff game. So I think there's some frustration behind the initial comments that happened as the season wrapped up at locker room cleanout for the Packers. So I think he was frustrated there. And, yeah, he was thinking, okay, yeah, I don't need to be returning kicks anymore. And, look, the Packers kind of agree, right? They go out, they get McCole Hardman, who we don't know if he's going to be on the team or not, but they also drafted Savion Williams, who I would assume would have some sort of special teams role with this team, potentially returning kicks. So I think the Packers want him open to the idea of returning kicks. They don't want him shutting it down because, well, what if Savion Williams doesn't work out? What if McCole Hardman, they decide, it's not worth keeping him around and we still need someone to return kicks? Keyshawn, we need you back there. So I think they want him open to it, even if I think he's not going to ultimately have the job when we kick this thing off in September.
And I think he just caught himself sounding selfish.
Yeah.
Right? Because it did sound very selfish at the time, and now he's just trying to walk it back, which is fine. I mean, if Jaire is not on the team, you certainly do not want him, because now all of a sudden that position becomes very, very lean.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're an injury away, or 2 injuries away from oh boy, what do we do now?
Yeah.
So
but him being back there, I'm not anticipating or expecting it, but he is a break glass in case of emergency guy.
Did you say that Savion Williams has been returning at OTAs?
I have no idea if he has or has not, but he did in college. And based on his skill set and based on the skill set that's required now to return kicks, I would not be shocked if he gets an opportunity at some point.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's a big part of the game anymore. Who was the guy from the Bears? He was the last stud to do it. Devin Hester.
So that was so long ago. He's in the Hall of Fame now.
No, I know that, but that's how much the position has been devalued.
Which is why they're trying to make that a part of the game again by experimenting with the different things that they have on the kickoff the last couple of years.
So what, are they just going to keep moving it until they force these teams to return kicks?
Josh, he's nodding his head back there like
Precisely.
Jack Nicholson in that movie. Yes.
They are going to continue to make it more and more punitive until it becomes more a factor of the game. And I do think what they're going to end up doing, because teams are going to start directional kicking, is having two guys back there. So you'd likely have Savion and Keyshawn Nixon in this situation, and it's sort of a pick your poison. Who's the more favorable one to go to?
I just think special teams now are a myth. Where it used to be, hey, there's 3 units. There's offense, defense, special teams. Now there's offense, defense, and just don't screw
Remember?
up.
I would just like to pause on that comment and think back to, I don't know, the recent history of, let's say, the Green Bay Packers. Has special teams affected any of the big games that we can think of? Gabe?
Well, it's because they've been so bad.
Well, I think you're making my point.
I think what my client is trying to say is
wait,
that...
who's your client? Is it Chewy? Okay.
Chewy. What he was trying to say...
Gabe, remember what I said about Evan? Have my back here.
What he's trying to say is special teams returns don't factor into the game. Clearly, the kicking game is still an important part. And having a good kicker is really all that special teams boils down to. Is that what you were trying to say, Chew?
I guess. I mean, does it really...
See, he's not helping his own case.
I also...
Chewy, kickers are important. Please remember Anders Carlson.
No, I know they are.
I'm also hesitating
Anders.
because didn't the Packers beat the Bears with a blocked field goal almost exclusively?
Did the Bears also return a punt where they misdirected them in the final game?
It wasn't important. Didn't matter. They were the
but that's because
Nixon flipped games on his head with big returns.
That's because the coaches are just like babysitters. That's it. You have your special teams coach. All right, you're the game manager.
That's assistant head coach Rich Bisaccia to you, by the way.
I know, but what do you think LaFleur's... Where do you think LaFleur puts more weight, on special teams or being the game manager? I'm going to say the game manager.
Well, based on some of the results of the Packers special teams historically, it's certainly...
Based on some of them. Okay, so I see the Packers lost to the Bears because of a punt return. Yeah. I raise you the Packers lost to the Bears because of bad game management late.
Fair.
Yeah, but the 10 other guys on the field when they're kicking field goals don't really matter. You could take a fire hose and say, all right, as soon as you kick the ball, we're going to drill you with a fire hose. All right? I mean, what are we doing?
I'm not sure I understand the analogy.
I'm just ready to move on. Don't we have Top 8 at 8 coming up next?
We do.
No, just like I think there should be, Gabe, full contact golf. Golf ratings are down. Golf ratings are down. And if they followed my lead where I said in two shots every round, someone the other player playing against the other gets to drill the guy after a shot. And then you have that in the back of your head.
No, it should be like
Gabe.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, rush.
Again, if it's somebody like, John Rahm coming after you, like, he's a big boy. The guy's got some, But, like, if I'm playing against Brian Harmon, I'm not that worried about getting hit by Brian Harmon.
Still make you flinch at times.
Guy, Matt Fitzpatrick, I'm flicking him away. Get out of here.
So, all I'm trying to say is special teams were more important back in my day, where today they're like, meh.
Okay, yeah. Got it.
Top 8 at 8. Coming up next. On Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Is your business ready to take the next step? Well, apparently we're ready to take the next step here at Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local expert advisors, are here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Jen could use some of those fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third today, downtown Milwaukee. Let's eliminate the non-value add work so you can focus on what truly matters most, growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94, seeing some delays from Highway 16 to Highway F. Back on the brakes from about 84th Street all the way to about 35th. There's an accident at Mitchell Boulevard off on the right shoulder as well. Westbound 94, you got your backups from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then from the Zoo to just past Elm Grove Road. Northbound 43, watch for delays from Kilbourne all the way up past Keefe. Southbound slowing down a bit from Good Hope Road down past Silver Spring, and then from Capitol down to Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, smoky, hazy, mostly sunny, a high of 70 at the lake, 75 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 55. Weather's brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Bandana? Check. Boots? Check. Gloves? Check. As a motorcycle rider in Wisconsin, you may go to great lengths to protect your image. Just be sure you're protecting yourself, too. Wear a Department of Transportation-approved helmet. Perform safety checks on your motorcycle. Know the traffic laws and don't take risks. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Don't miss 3 weekends of live music at Milwaukee's Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance, including Benson Boone, Hosier, Megan Thee Stallion, plus Alex Warren, Artemis, Nissa Barrett, and more. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with Sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. The legendary Ice Cube is on the latest pod with Marcus and Chris. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Unbelievable that they ran all over this vaunted defense, this elite defense.
What Kool-Aid?
Why? It was poop Kool-Aid. And we gobbled it down.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Summer is heating up, and maybe you're going to be around your house a little bit more, and you're thinking, we have some projects that we need to get done. Call my friends over at Professional Construction, Inc. If you are thinking of a remodeling project, a home addition, or maybe you're like, you know what? I want to build a whole new house. Who can help us with that? PCI is the answer. It's a family-owned company. They believe in building relationships and doing exceptional work on your projects. They've been in the business for more than 20 years, so you know that Mike and Michelle and their team really are the experts in this space. Learn more about PCI and see their work at professionalconstructioninc.com. That's professionalconstructioninc.com.
The top 8 at 8.
Name something that follows the word pork. You pine. Huh?
One category.
Name something people take with them to the beach. Turkey.
The top 8 answers.
The first thing you buy in a supermarket. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8.
A food often stuffed. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Name Popeye's favorite food.
Chicken.
Oh my God.
Show me chicken.
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What do we got today, Gabe?
NBA Finals tips off tonight. You can listen to those games right here on 94.5 ESPN. Game 1 between the Thunder and Pacers. So I have a list of 8 things. You and Chew guys back and forth. Once you each get one incorrect, we open it up to the fans. 800-990-3776. Whoever gets the last one on the list wins an ESPN Milwaukee prize pack. Looking for the last 8 NBA Finals MVPs.
Ooh.
Last 8 NBA Finals MVPs.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Number 4 on the list.
Oh, are you mad that I stole the easy one?
No, you took the, yeah. Ah, la la lo la lay. Hold on, let me go to a list here.
What list? The list?
Of NBA teams that have won it.
Is that allowed, Gabe Knights?
Oh, let's go with the guy from Croatia.
I need a name.
Jokic.
Counts.
Jokic.
Nikola Jokic is number 2 on the list.
Josh,
Is that with a Y or an N?
Counts.
Yep.
Is that a Y or an N? Is it Jokic or Nokic?
It's Jokic with a J.
But his first name is Nikola, which is where I think you're getting the N from.
Yeah.
Nokic.
Efficiency.
It's a silent
He just
J.
did. That's his nickname because he just took the first name and smashed the last name together.
Last year, Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown did win it last year for the Boston Celtics.
Oh, you wanted that one too, did you?
Yep, I did. Yeah. Let's go. How many are there? 8?
It's typically how this game works.
First time.
Steph Curry?
Steph Curry, number 3 on the list.
Ooh.
Good job, Chew.
Okay.
2020. Josh and I were just discussing 2020 NBA titles last night. LeBron James,
LeBron
2020.
James, number 5.
If you can remember who won in 19, you know for sure who it is.
Yeah, though he tore his Achilles. He just Jason Tatum.
No, that is incorrect.
Not what I was saying.
Jason Tatum, his team won it last year. Jaylen Brown is the one who won it from his.
Yeah, but didn't they win it like 3 years ago as well?
No.
All right.
No. The Raptors won. Kawhi was MVP.
Number 6.
What, can you reset the list for me, please?
Jaylen Brown, Nikola Jokic, Steph Curry, Giannis, LeBron, Kawhi.
Ew. Now it gets tricky.
Need an answer.
There's one that's the classic. Do you remember this guy? MVP.
Classic. Do you remember this guy? MVP.
The anomaly amongst this list.
No chance. 0 chance.
I need a name, Jennifer.
Hold on. Let me work through this. 2020, 2019, 2018.
Candy corn, candy cane.
Need an answer.
I don't remember.
3, 2.
I don't remember.
1. All right, let's open it up. 800-990-3776. You guys ran through the first 6. Jaylen Brown, Nikola Jokic, Steph Curry, Giannis, LeBron, and Kawhi, leaving just 7 and 8 on the list. Last 8 NBA Finals MVPs, with the NBA Finals tipping off tonight.
We were discussing this last night on Weekly Wager, Joshy and I. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is like the runaway favorite to be the MVP.
Minus 550?
Yeah, to be the MVP of this year's NBA Finals. 800-990-3776. Need you to call in to play Top 8 at 8. We have 6 of the top 8 former NBA Finals MVPs. Leave it to Chewy to be mad at me to say Giannis and the Boston Celtics player.
Well, he wouldn't have gotten the Boston Celtics player as evidenced
by his
by
guess.
the Celtics player he guessed later.
Yeah, because you guessed Tatum and not Brown. Bill in Brookfield, you're up first on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Hope so. You got Kevin Durant in there?
Kevin Durant won back-to-back in 17 and 18. He is number 7 on the list.
With the same team?
Yeah, with the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, okay.
And the outlier that Josh was kind of referring to, Andre Iguodala.
The first NBA Finals MVP for the Warriors was not Steph, was not Clay, was not Draymond. It was indeed Andre Iguodala.
In like 15 years, that's going to be the ultimate trivia question you get at bar trivia. Who won the first time? And everyone's going to think, well, it's got to be Steph. No. The Iggy year.
Like, there isn't... Like, you go back to the 80s, and there isn't a name that stands out the way that Andre Iguodala does.
Right.
Because it's just like, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer.
It's because he did a good job stopping LeBron.
But he actually didn't. Like, LeBron almost averaged a triple-double in the series. Like, LeBron was, like, to the point where people were like, man, I know they only lost in 6, but LeBron was so good in the series, maybe LeBron wins the MVP. And somehow Andre Iguodala ended up with the MVP of that series.
That was a good list. Bill and Brookfield, you're our big winner this morning on Top 8 at 8. And, look at that. We are back on time here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Finding the right home is a journey. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's patient, but it should always be exciting. The We Sell group at Keller Williams knows that. They are not just about closing deals. Their priority is building relationships and helping you find the right fit. And look, I've been talking about it, guys. We're looking for a lake home, and Rob and Nick have been very helpful. They are giving us so many options, and when we can't get to an open house or to see a property, well, they will do it for us. They have been informative and available. It is clear that passion is their people is their passion. Whether you're ready to move right now or you're starting to look, or maybe you're thinking about selling, the We Sell group is on the journey with you every step of the way. Start your journey today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Delays along northbound 43 coming out of the Marquette all the way up past Capitol Drive. We've got some delays on the southbound side, too, coming in from Good Hope Road to Silver Spring and then Capitol Drive down past Burleigh. Westbound 94, watch for delays from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes from the zoo into Waukesha County. The eastbound side is slowing down from about 76th Street all the way through the stadium. They still have an accident up on the board off on the right shoulder at Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, smoky, hazy, mostly sunny otherwise, a high of 70 at the lake, 75 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems,
the service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
Just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This Father's Day, help Dad be all he can be with a gift from the Home Depot. Because he's not just Dad, he's the handyman of the house, the plumber in a pinch, and the emergency mechanic. Upgrade his gear this Father's Day with the Husky Mechanics 270-piece tool set from the Home Depot. Now on special buy for $119, a $695 value. For every kind of dad, find the perfect gift this Father's Day at the Home Depot.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm going to go with the corn dog, the old corn dog. The corn dog for the
pierogies
birthday.
and borscht all day long.
That's just crazy. Nobody likes borscht, let alone
God,
on their
it's
birthday.
so good. It's the only thing that makes my mouth water, other than my wife.
On 94.5 ESPN.
One of the best traditions went along with Summerfest, goes along with how great the summers are here in southeastern Wisconsin, was the fireworks show down at the lakefront. The Big Bang, as it was known, which, was good on a lot of fronts. Not so much for the dinosaurs, though, from what I hear. Didn't go well for him. But the Big Bang has now been gone for several years, and we've been wondering what was going to take its place. Well, they gave us the information. They have announced it. It's going to be a drone show, ladies and gentlemen. The Sky Robots, which is basically what drones are. A drone show is going to replace the Big Bang. They told us yesterday. Why are you acting that way?
What's a drone? I mean...
Is it like an EDM?
No.
I understand in concept what the drone show is, but, are people going to fill up downtown Milwaukee and head to Veterans Park and
camp out all day
for a chance to see the drones?
This is an affront to my senses as an American, as a consumer of entertainment, of all the things that are right with the 4th of July. I'm going to watch a computer program light up some drones and make shapes. And instead of the Big Bang, it's going to be the big hum as you hear the drones over Veterans Park. Who is going to gather their family and camp out on the shores of Lake Michigan to watch drones light up the American flag and other Milwaukee landmarks? I'm going to look at the Calatrava and be like, wow. Instead of going to look at the actual building, why don't you make a lessened version of it via drone?
I'm never going to recover from Big Hum, just so you know. Never going to recover from that. Are you telling me you didn't enjoy the drone show that they did at the draft?
I enjoyed it for approximately 2 minutes, and then the most entertaining thing was trying to predict what it was going to come into next. It was, you look at it and you go, well, that's the Lombardi Trophy, and then nothing happens. There's something visceral about the reaction of an explosion, of the excitement, of the bang, of the different things you can. I'm going to just watch drones light up and make shapes, rudimentary shapes, mind you. It's not like it's the best looking image that's going to light up the sky. You're going to gather around with your family and just sit around and watch that? I understand they had trouble getting funding. Well, fix it. Find the funding. Find the right partners to make it happen.
Well, let me ask you a question. Would you be okay with a small bang? right? Because the Big Bang, one of the big things was it was like 15 minutes long. It was like 20 minutes long. It was this lengthy show, and you really felt like, and again, I'm not saying that you were paying for it, but you really felt like you got your money's worth, quote unquote.
Right.
If you were going to trek down to the lake and you were going to hold a spot, throw a blanket down at 5 a.m. so that your family could sit there, at least you felt like it was worth it. People would picnic there. They would spend the whole day in anticipation of the big fireworks show. I like fireworks, okay? And maybe that's remedial of me. Maybe that makes me a simpleton, but I've always been a big fan of fireworks. When we were kids, we'd go out on the boat, we'd lay on the front of the boat, we'd look up at the sky, they'd shoot them off over the lake, and it was a family tradition. So I have very fond memories from my childhood of watching the fireworks show. As I've gotten older, it feels like the fireworks have become, quote unquote, lame. People are always like, who goes to a fireworks show? If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Like, these are the criticisms of fireworks. And then, of course, don't get me started on, you post the pictures of your fireworks on your Instagram page, and people are like, no one wants to see your firework pictures. They're never as good as the show. So I'm confused about what our feelings as society are about fireworks. Because I have always thought it is, again, very much tied to the 4th of July, celebrating America, summer. I have always thought very fondly of them, but I know not everybody agrees with me.
Unless I'm unless I'm the one lighting the fireworks, I'm out on fireworks. But that doesn't mean I don't recognize there are a lot of people like you, Jen, as evidenced by the hordes of people who would flood Milwaukee in order to go to these fireworks shows.
The city basically shuts down when these were going on. To get from one end of the city to the other and like within 2 hours of those fireworks going off was near impossible. You couldn't find parking. People were everywhere down here.
I don't get it. I'm kind of halfway between Jen and Gabe, but on the 4th of July, Okauchee Lake puts on an awesome fireworks show that's not extremely long, but it's very good. And I know I know the number because I know the people going out and fundraising, and it's not obnoxious. It's not obnoxious. So you're telling me they can't put some kind of group together that can go out and raise that number? I mean, what the hell are we doing here?
The number, I believe, I was reading 620 WTMJ's story on it, was around like $350,000.
Well, then they're getting ripped off. Let me just say they're getting ripped off, okay?
If I were to
plain
imagine,
and simple,
knowing
getting ripped off.
Knowing what we know about government and the way they go about these things and all the hoops you have to jump through, they probably are charged the highest total amount.
Yes.
So yes, the county parks, roughly $350,000 for pyrotechnics, $20,000 for additional staffing and service costs. The event typically drew 100,000 people from across Wisconsin.
Okay, hold please. I got to do a little housekeeping here. There is a report online that says Summerfest Big Bang fireworks presented by Menards scheduled to take place Thursday, June 19th. 2025 at 9:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So they're having the Big Bang fireworks. This drone show is in addition to the fireworks?
So Big Bang fireworks for Summerfest, completely different. So the county would always put something on, and it was typically July 3rd.
Yeah.
So it was always the night before July 4th. The county would put on a even larger fireworks show, and that's the one where everybody would drive into, again, that we're talking about, just all
Veterans Park.
all around Veterans Park.
Bradford Beach, you do the whole thing.
Yeah, anything. Find a seat as best you can along Lincoln Memorial Parkway. Big Bang is something completely different because that's put on by Summerfest.
But maybe my confusion is because Summerfest used to be closer to the 4th of July or something like that. Maybe there was some. I always felt like they were one and the same. It was like the 4th of July but you're telling me it's not.
It's not.
You're telling me Big Bang is Summerfest.
Yes.
And this is the 4th of July.
Yes.
So the drone show is 4th of July. So what you're saying is I'm going to get my fireworks fix anyway.
Earlier. It won't be on the 4th.
Yeah,
right?
or around the 4th, yes.
Yeah, or typically how it's consumed. It's a Summerfest thing. You can definitely see it from elsewhere, and you can line the shore still if you are that interested in seeking them out. But it's not the big one that shuts down the city, that kind of takes over that entire weekend, to be quite explicit.
That was the 4th of July.
Yes.
So Josh, is that $300,000? Does that include paying for police, paying for?
I believe he said the additional $20,000.
Yeah, $20,000 was the additional staff. $350,000 was for the pyrotechnics.
The $300,000 is just for the fireworks.
Correct.
Well, they're getting ripped off.
350. Chewy, I don't want you to misrepresent. It's 350,000.
They're getting ripped off.
It does sound like Chewy is sort of volunteering his services here. Chewy, you want to draft up a quote? You want to put together an invoice that we could present to the organization and maybe, offer them a discount?
I'll be the lighter.
I figured that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I want to be the lighter.
The drone show is going to blend, quote, cutting-edge drone technology.
And how much does that cost?
With an original synchronized soundtrack for a dazzling 45-minute performance featuring images of Milwaukee's iconic landmarks as well as patriotic and local themes.
Explicitly here, the way and what makes fireworks so popular is, especially in the city, you can view them from all over. Like, we watched them from Bayview, which is somewhat close, but not that close. Like, on the shores, obviously, it's one show, and you can see it from farther away. How big are these drones going to be, or are you going to have to be on top of it, basically, to experience it at all?
Yeah, how high in the sky are these things going to go?
Right. And when they make the shape, is it going to make sense when I am a mile and a half down the road, or is it just going to look faintly like maybe there's a flight pattern happening over there or something? Who wants to see drone shows? Is there a clamoring for drone shows?
And what's to keep people with their own drones to go up and, hey, I'm going to be part of the show there too? Am I right?
Hadn't thought about that, but I suppose it is something we should consider.
Whereas if you fire your own firework, it's just part of the show.
I'm trying to think. I think when we were at Disney World this last time with the kiddos, I believe that they have replaced, or at least in part replaced, some of their fireworks shows with drones as well, or lasers, light shows, things like that. And it's Disney, so they do everything, to the nth degree. It was still pretty remarkable. I wonder if this will surprise you, Joshy, in some way and be more extravagant and more of a thing than you're giving it credit for.
Someone will have to report back because I will be taking no part of it. I will go out of my way to not see it. If I have to head west to do it, I'm so
gonna actively avoid it and just get out of Dodge.
Yeah. Joshy, where are you? Menominee Falls. Why? Didn't want to see the drone show.
How'd you end up in Prairie du Chien?
Well, that's too far. Okay, the Mississippi River's gonna have some sort of display going on as well.
Yeah, that's how far you got to go for the actual fireworks.
I am seeing a lot of reaction about fireworks. Casey weighing in saying they are all the same crappy fireworks. Casey also says you guys are overrating fireworks just like parades. Sounds like Casey is out on all things patriotic and summer celebratory.
I'm not a fireworks guy. I really don't typically go that far out of my way if it's that big of a convenience, but I understand the community aspect, the family aspect, the gathering points of the season and the importance of it, and I think this is going to fall well short of any of that.
Well, because you're basically creating something new. Like Jen was talking about her experience, and for her, especially now as a parent taking her, there's a nostalgia factor.
Right.
Nobody has nostalgia for drones.
No.
That's not a thing.
Right. I don't want to see Mickey Mouse as a drone. I'm good. It's great. Cute. Awesome. That's the all-time, too. Like, if you want to say you see it once, you see it every time, like, that's drones. It's only so impressive to see a computer program drones to make shapes.
I mean, how far down the list do we have to go to get 45 minutes worth of Milwaukee landmarks? Like, what's going to qualify
the
here?
Bronze Fonz is going to make an appearance.
Like, that's what.
Wait, are you guys thinking we should put together a checklist?
Yes.
In advance of the July 3rd drone show, let's put together a Jen, Gabe, and Chewy checklist of things, like a bingo card. We've done that before for certain things, of things that we think will show up in the drone show. Cutting-edge drone technology with an original synchronized soundtrack for a dazzling 45-minute performance, so say officials.
45 minutes is so long.
It will include images of Milwaukee landmarks and patriotic themes. So there's our...
You can only put up the hone so many times.
What about Highwayman?
A bridge? Like, I'm going to be like, wow, look at that bridge in drone form.
Well, especially, Joshy, when you can look over there.
Well, there it is. Yeah.
And see the bridge.
Like, I don't... Is there a lot... Are we missing things? Like, I'm already running out of options of what landmarks would...
Okay, so the hone, the museum.
The boobs on 94.
Domes.
The domes?
Domes.
Yeah.
I don't know that those are making the cut.
I mean, they have to. We got 45 minutes.
What else is there?
Patriotic themes. So you're going to see a flag.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we're going to run out of things there quickly, too.
Will the drone do like a Liberty Bell?
It's not Philadelphia.
But it still represents what the whole weekend day is about.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm running out, Josh. I might be out.
What's the wrestler that's holding the keg over his head? Or
Wolskis? Are they going to show Wolskis?
What are they going to show? The dartboard?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's represented.
But I'll tell you what, if they can figure out a way to make those drones into the sticker that says "I closed Wolski's," that might be something.
Might be worth it.
Yeah, it might be worth it. I'm going to give this a shot. I'm gonna go in with an open mind. I'm gonna go in and give them the benefit of the doubt that they can make this something spectacular and something that people are oohing and eyeing over and telling their friends, and it grows year by year.
Jen, are you going to be rounding up your family to go on the shores of Veterans Park to watch the drone show?
Possibly. It's July 3rd near McKinley Beach, 9:15 start. Possibly.
That's a no.
Yeah,
that's a no.
Yeah,
that's a no.
So what are you, my kid now?
I mean,
Mom
again,
says maybe. That means no.
Yeah,
that was you're trying to put a positive spin on this.
Yeah,
and I am buying it for a split second.
Look at that. Got to take a break. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on right after this.
Tune into Behind the Bucks podcast, Bucks Plus Audio Network. It's presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks brings you exclusive access and untold stories about the greatest stars and moments in Bucks history. Go behind the scenes of Giannis's Emmy-nominated documentary. Learn about Dame's journey to becoming a top 75 player and hear about the true origins of Bucks and Six. Find Behind the Bucks on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems. Installation of new or old hoops and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Summer's here, and seasonal businesses are hiring everything from hiking guides to surf instructors and more. Whether you're hiring for one of these roles or any other role, you need ZipRecruiter to find qualified candidates fast. ZipRecruiter's smart technology gets to work as soon as you post a job, diving in to find great matches and showing you top picks right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/USL to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The greatest show on dirt is charging through Wisconsin. Saturday, June 7th, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars invade Beaver Dam Raceway's grand finale for the Jim J.B. Boyd Memorial, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Then it's a Sunday special on June 8th when the Outlaws race to Angel Park for the first time since 2016. Gates open at 4 p.m. Tickets at slspromotions.com. Be there.
The Protect the Package golf outing takes place on August 16 at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the events tab.
At QC Kinetics, we're all about keeping you in the game, helping you get lasting relief from joint pain. That's why we're excited to announce that QC Kinetics is now partnering with the National Pickleball League. So many of our satisfied patients are avid pickleball players, and they're thrilled with how we've helped them get back on the court. As lead sponsor of the National Pickleball League, we're committed to help pickleball fans of all ages with the latest, most advanced regenerative cell treatments. These treatments use your body's own healing power, revitalizing and restoring damaged joint tissue the natural way, with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Whether you're a pickleball fanatic or enjoy golf or running or tennis, stay in the game with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, proud to promote active, pain-free living as a lead sponsor of the National Pickleball League. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
363. What's that?
The number of yards they gave up on the ground against the Philadelphia
It's a Bible
Eagles.
verse, John 3:63. Look it up. Tell us what it
I
says.
thought it was Joe 363, and it was "Thou shalt not get past me on the line of scrimmage."
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. For Mental Health Awareness Month, BetterHelp surveyed 16,000 people across 23 countries for its first ever State of Stigma report. Here's what they found. 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support when you are struggling, but only 27% of people are in therapy. Why? What's the disconnect? People recognize that therapy is helpful and important and significant, but then they're choosing not to get it. So BetterHelp is trying to change those numbers, get them closer together. Because when people hesitate to get help, it doesn't just affect them, it affects their families, their workplaces, their entire communities. BetterHelp.com/timeout will give you 10% off your first month. 35,000 therapists, 5 million people globally participating right now. It's convenient as well. You can join a session from your home with the click of a button. It'll help it fit into your busy life, and you can switch therapists at any time if you feel like who you're working with isn't working for you. BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout. We are all better with help. People feel very strongly about fireworks. People feel very strongly about drones, and people feel very strongly about what should be included in the drone show. I think this is a thing, guys. We're going to start compiling a list of things that should be in the drone show on July 3rd down at the lakefront. Wrestler holding the barrel is the Crusher, says Jeff in the YouTube stream. Joshy.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Crusher is going to make the list.
Again, we got 45 minutes to fill, Jen.
Are they going to
It's a long-ass time.
Are they going to do the Milverine shirtless walking across?
That's what he did. Isn't that what Chewy was talking? Or he said highway man.
Highway man.
He was talking about freeway.
He was talking
Freeway man.
Highway man is freeway.
He was talking about freeway.
All right, we're going to come up with a list here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great Thursday, everybody.
We got a problem on 43 northbound at Kilbourne. We got the center lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. So that is going to be causing some problems. They may have moved it off to the left side. I'm not quite sure. It looks like a box truck. So just something to be careful with. It is going to be slow all the way up past Keefe. Southbound on 43 backing up from Good Hope Road all the way down past Silver Spring. And then again right from Keefe down towards Burleigh. We've got southbound 41 slowing from just south of Appleton Avenue down to Burleigh. Northbound slowing from just north of Watertown Plank Road up past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, smoky, hazy, and mostly sunny skies with a high of 70 at the lake, 75 inland tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. For me and my family, finding the perfect home is a journey, but we don't walk it alone. With the We Sell Group, Rob and Nick aren't just real estate agents, they're part of our family's team. They bring us options, perspective, and peace of mind. While they navigate the market, I can stay focused on all that life has in store. Because at the We Sell Group, it's not just about the home, it's about the people and the path it takes to get there. The We Sell Group, more than agents, part of your journey. Get started with Rob and Nick at wesell.kw.com.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN.